Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the GQ Jedi. If you're not already subscribed to me, blast the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. Today I want to talk about why I collect Kenner, why I collect vintage and I don't collect modern. It really boils down to one simple, finite answer, is that this brings back memories. Good old vintage. All this goodness behind me, this brings back a lot of memories as a child, playing with toys that I had gotten and playing with my older brother's toys. Yeah, he's got a lot of flack from him. He's 10 years older than me, and I borrowed a lot of his toys and just had a lot of good playtime moments with stuff that he had that I didn't have. And sorry, brother. I should say thank you. I know you're gonna watch this video. I love you, man. Yeah, Kenner is just—it's special. It means a lot to me when I look at this stuff and when I hold a Luke Skywalker figure in my hand. There's something just kind of instantly happens. It transports me back to being a kid again. There's a magic, tangible feeling that comes across. Call it the Force, if you will. That's something that I don't get with modern toys. In the mid '90s, when the Hasbro, took over for Kenner and started coming out with the Power of the Force 2, I started collecting those, just like a lot of you probably did. But it never had the same punch for me. It was always, it was an extension, but it didn't have that same original magic. I didn't, grow up with those figures, those toys. I remember cruising through Toys R Us as a little kid and seeing a lot of the Return of the Jedi toys, because that was closer to my age group from when I was born. I saw a lot of the Return of the Jedi toys, droids, Ewoks, stuff of that nature. That's what I remember. And modern toys, came later on, and I didn't grow up with those. I didn't play with those. So for me, when I look at this modern stuff, as nice and as cool as it is, and it may have more detail, and it's way more paint apps, and now there's 6-inch black series, and they bend, they move, they dance, they're highly detailed. I just kind of glaze over. It doesn't have the same ring for me. And I actually sold off not a lot, all of it. I had a good sized modern collection, and I sold it all a couple years back because I wanted to just focus on getting vintage, because that's what I know and love. There's a certain charm, there's a certain appeal to these simplistic, 5 points of articulation figures. The head moves, the arms move, the legs move. That's it. There's no, sad to say, but G.I. Joe, man, G.I. Joe gave the old vintage, Kenner Star Wars figures a run for their money. And that's kind of what helped push Star Wars, sad to say, off the shelves back in the mid 80s. G.I. Joe came out with, there was joints. They could move their elbows and knees, and, they could fit in vehicles better. And sad to say, poor Luke couldn't keep up with that, but didn't change me from loving him. Didn't change you from loving him. And there's a certain charm, like I said, to these vintage figures, these vintage toys, that the modern toys just doesn't have and will never have. And that's nothing against anybody that collects modern. Like I always tell you guys, I'm like probably a broken record at this point. Collect what you like. Don't listen to me. Do whatever tickles your fancy. But for me personally, I just go with the vintage. I mean, a lot of this stuff I didn't have as a kid. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the stuff my brother didn't have as a kid. But I remember, a good chunk of it, and the feeling. It's all about the feeling for me. And I don't know. You guys seen my unboxings every time I get a new toy, a new figure, even if it's a Stan Solo Boba Fett, or a custom Slave Leia or Ula down here. Like, you guys see me, I just go gonzo. It's the same feeling comes back. Stan Solo does a great job of following in Kenner's footsteps and making these vintage figures come to life, so to speak. It always puts a smile on my face. But no matter what I do, no matter what I collect over the years, what I have collected, I should say, I always come back down to little Luke here, old school Luke. The original line of figures and the joy of collecting those that I didn't have and then upgrading. I mean, I've upgraded the heck out of these figures. I've tried to get as close to C8, C9s as I can. And it's been a hell of a ride. I mean, modern, there's nothing to upgrade. You just buy it brand new and that's it. You've got a brand new figure basically, unless you throw it off of a building into a construction site and a backhoe runs over it or something. I mean, you've got a great figure. There's a journey that takes place with this Kenner that doesn't take place with modern. There's so much history with the vintage line. And the big thing for me is when I look at these toys, it just takes me back to the movies. When I look at the new stuff, Hasbro's just made so many iterations of Luke here. I mean, this figure, the Farm Boy Luke, for instance, I mean, there's probably 28 figures of Farm Boy Luke, 28 variations, and I'm not going to keep up with all that. That's the other thing. I don't want to keep up with all these variations. I don't want to keep up with... There's just too many toys, man. Like, I like to keep it simple. There's a finite line of toys, and I can get them all, and I have them all. Minus a few variations of these figures. And the retro line. Don't want to collect them. I don't. It's not Kenner. It's not original. It's not OG. It's not from the 70s or 80s. A lot of people ask me, why don't you collect the retro? It looks just like... I know it's not. In my heart, I know it's not. And the other thing is I don't want to give Hasbro my money. I think Hasbro is a greedy company. I don't like their business practices. I'm not fond of what they've done over the years. Their prices are through the ceiling. The means by which you get figures, these exclusives, they're sometimes near impossible to get your hands on. I'm not down with that jazz. My life's simple. I mean, these figures, some of these toys are expensive and they're hard to track down, but that's part of the fun of it, because it's like getting my childhood back. Hasbro means nothing to me. And I don't want to support them in any way. I had a Razor Crest. I don't know if you guys saw that video way back when I started this channel. I bought a Razor Crest. Well, I got rid of it. It doesn't mean anything to me. And I'm not going to start collecting the Mando toys. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to keep on with my Kenner. And that's it. I have no shame about it. I know that's why you guys are here to hear and learn and see, talk about Kenner Star Wars, and that's why I'm here. And that's my love, and that's where I'll stay. That's where I'll stay. Just going to keep collecting. Just going to keep collecting the old school. Keep it old school, keep it vintage, keep it Kenner. I just love this stuff. I mean, I do. I really do. And it's a great collection to chase down. And even though I have it all, I still want to keep chasing it. Kenner's got my number. And I don't know. There's nothing more, deeper than that. That's it, guys. I'm just an old school Kenner guy. I love the old stuff. That's what gives me the feels. And I can't just go to the other beautiful thing is I can't just go to the store and pick it off the shelves or wait for Amazon to deliver it. I have to track this stuff down. I've had to hunt it down, whether it be online, by some group online that's a Facebook group, or Instagram, or I've had to go to garage sales, or using apps people, listing something, and you got to drive across town to check it out. You're like, that's the thrill of it, is the hunt, the absolute hunt of finding stuff, and you don't know what you're gonna get, and you hope it's gonna be as good as you saw it in the photos, or if not better. I remember when I got a snaggletooth and I saw it in the photo, and I was like, Jesus, I hope this is legit. And I remember my heart was beating, to go and get that thing. And the hunt for vintages, there's no drug like it, man. Like, I mean, there's nothing like it on the planet. And yeah, it's too much damn fun. I remember the slogan, I'm a Toys R Us kid, I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. Well, you know what, I'm a Kenner kid, just a Kenner kid, and I'm never going to grow up, and I'm never going to stop. And I just wanted to share that with you guys today. It's about the nostalgia, it's about the charm of these simple figures. No crazy 28 colors, no 29 points of articulation. They're very simple, and it just makes me feel good when I've got them, when I'm holding them, I'm talking about them. That's why I have this channel, guys. I love talking about this stuff with you. I love sharing my collection with you guys. And that's it. That's all there's to it. There's no greater mystery to it. So I just wanted to answer those questions for those of you wondering why I don't collect modern, or if I'm going to start. I'm not. You want to talk about Kenner? I'm here. Let's talk Kenner. Guys, I appreciate you. Appreciate you following me along on this journey. And hopefully the journey will never end. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give the old like button a thumbs up to support the channel. And if you've not already done so, blast the subscribe button and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any valuable Star Wars content. And remember, collect or collect not, there is no try.